Hi, I'm Max Temkin, one of the co-creators of Cards Against Humanity, and this is Tabletop Deathmatch, a competition to find the next great tabletop game. Last year, over 500 people submitted their unpublished games to a panel of expert judges. 16 finalists came to Gen Con to pitch their games in person, and one of those games will win a first printing paid for by Cards Against Humanity and be named the champion of Tabletop Deathmatch. We've seen all of the 16 finalists present their games. We've calculated all of the average scores for all of the games, and we've got our 6 top-ranked finalists. So they are the Aberdeen Affair, Discount Salmon, Penny Press, What the Flock, Shadow over Westminster, and Fart Party, my favorite.
The Aberdeen Affair is a game about a house party where every player is a butler, but one of them is a miscreant imposter. You go around the board trying to complete your various tasks of serving the royalty, but at the same time one of them is trying to kill everybody.
Discount Salmon is a game where there's a huge pool of salmon cards. One of them gets flipped up and everybody looks at their hand really fast and tries to figure out if they can fix the problem with the salmon, because there's always a problem with the salmon. And when you fix it, you score it, and so the game can play really fast, and once you get enough salmon, then you win the game.
What the Flock is kind of a light bird placing game. There's a tree, you roll some dice, you put your birds down, and the real goal with the game is to try and get your birds, your playing pieces, arranged so that they're in a certain formation. It uses cards to give you a little bit of tactical play, dice to keep things moving pretty quickly. I think it was a pretty interesting concept with some really great playing pieces, some cool potential for the components.
Penny Press is a game about being reporters and editors for a tabloid newspaper in the turn of the century US, and it had a fascinating front page building mechanic where you're using newspaper tiles to assemble your front page and kind of get the best coverage from the best stories, and then you sweep that day away and you start building it again.
Fart Party, the best game that we saw in this competition, by far. It's a pressure luck dice rolling game where the players are at a bean eating contest and they're trying to bank beans by first putting them on their plate and then into their belly before they fart and offend the judges and lose points.
The Shadow over Westminster is a cooperative game with a deck building element set in modern day London, where you are trying to prevent a cataclysm from destroying the world, and it's got some mechanics that use deck building, and it reflects a lot of the sort of typical cooperative play, but with a lot of twists that I think we found really appealing, and a theme that was exciting and familiar, but also a new twist at the same time.
All right, so I mean, we've got the 6 finalists. Does anyone have any thoughts right off the bat of you know, who's kind of standing at the top, who's kind of standing at the bottom?
I think it's worth saying that is an amazing set of finalists, right? I mean, like, when we threw this contest out there, we were hoping to get like one good game, and so for them, we have a real tough job ahead of us right now. The one that blew my mind, and I think that, you know, I was, like, as you said, envious of, was Penny Press. I want to see that game.
I mean, I'm also personally very excited to be part of the design process for that game, sort of doing the layouts, deciding on materials. It'll be gorgeous.
I'm just going to throw in that I think Discount Salmon is my favorite, just because I think it's like all of those intellectually, they're fun games. They're going to have good mechanics and stuff. Discount Salmon just sounds like let's have some fun.
Let's play that out.
We're gonna slap the table and grab the fish and say, this is mine. I've got this. What have you got?
You know, Discount Salmon's got that immediate appeal. Even when I've been showing friends the list of games or something, people they like lock onto it. They're like, what's Discount Salmon? That's a great name. I have to know what that's about.
Well, and the two of them presenting were delightful.
Yeah.
Completely delightful.
Yeah, they're the right people to make that game.
I can't help but notice that no one is talking about Fart Party right now. Is everyone busy farting?
Well, I'm trying to be impartial.
Maybe Max is building up to something.
Yeah, I'm trying to
the pressure is mounting.
I'm trying to be impartial here, but Fart Party, my actual serious pitch for the game. It's a game that anyone could play. It's a game that could completely go viral at, you know, PAX or at the right venue like that. For me, it fits into my comfort zone of making something that's funny and using humor as part of the marketing and helping people understand the game. I mean, they nailed that better than any of the other games we saw.
I think the Shadow over Westminster, for me, it's a little too complicated because I'm not a heavy gamer. Fart Party, who can, you know, you can't deny the commercial value of that. You can't deny it. You can't. I guess you can kind of tell which ones I'm kind of leaning toward.
I'm going to make a case for the Aberdeen Affair. I wanted to be in that game. I mean, I wanted to be doing the butler activity while one of my friends is trying to do the same thing, but also poison everybody. Like, there was never any point in that game where I said, God, I really wish I want to fix this. I think it could get there. Amberton Affair came out of the box and said, I want to be done.
I think the Amberton Affair was clean and tight, but it didn't grab me as like, I'm a servant and I'm walking around bringing people wine. Is kind of, the writing of it didn't really pull me into that world.
Yeah, the hook there isn't engaging, like being a butler. I mean, it's engaging to us game designers who are like, but at the same time, I'm not sure that people are going to be like, oh yeah, let's go play the game where we get to be butlers.
There's only 2 games on the list that I think are the easy sells for my game group. One is the Amberton Affair, because I can say, oh, it's a game with a trader mechanic, but the trader mechanic doesn't stop play, it happens afterward. That's easy sell for my group. The other one is Shadows over Westminster. It actually takes a mechanic that I'm usually not very hot on, the deck building, integrates it nicely into the game in a kind of creative way, and makes me like that mechanic again. So as a designer, that really excited me about the game.
That was the one for me where it just immediately grabbed my imagination. I mean, there's so much good flavor in that world, and there's so many cool characters. Like, I just immediately thought of you know, if he had the budget, what could this thing could really be.
The game really with the best commercial shot is What the Flock.
I agree.
I think that has huge toy factor. It could be a Milton Bradley game. Yeah. And I think it has a great range for play. It has some nerdy elements to it, but also it's a game that I could sit down with my nephew and, you know, he could figure it out, he could play through it. And it honestly, like, the idea of sitting down with those birds and shuffling through them and looking for the patterns and, you know, crow bombing people, that's been playing around in the back of my head.
I think one of the things we have to keep in mind with any of these games is we sort of have to be prepared to take them as they are. Do you guys feel that What the Flock is there now? I mean, are we ready to take it as is?
I do, yeah.
I have some concerns, not about the mechanics. I think the mechanics are fine for the game, but I have some concerns about what people's perception of the game is going to be. It's beautiful, they're going to know that immediately. Then they're going to start rolling dice and saying, this is kind of random. And then they're going to learn what the strategies actually are and go, wow, this is actually pretty deep. And each of those are very different audiences. It could turn off almost everybody who plays the game as they discover that they think it's for the other audience. I mean, that's just a concern.
Yeah, I mean, I'm somewhat worried that casual players are going to be turned off by the sheer quantity of movements they have to make over the course of the game. It might be a bait and switch for a lot of people. It's a lot of movement.
Yeah. I think you guys are underestimating the toy factor in that game.
So to continue with your thought, Max, that we have to take these games as they are, I'm going to be Mr. Negative here, and if that's the case, I don't think Fart Party is even close for me, right? Because I think that's a game that, while it might have the initial get-off-the-shelf appeal, like you might buy that game because, oh, it's Fart Party, that's funny, that game does not get played at my table more than once.
I mean, that is your opinion, certainly. but I feel like maybe you're not respecting the artistic integrity of the designers of that game.
I like juvenile humor just as much as the next person, but the humor can take it so far, but the gameplay has to bring it back out to me.
No, in all seriousness, I actually do agree with you, and I think Fart Party is so frustrating because it's that game that's like, it's like right on the edge, and with a little more playtesting, a little more refinement, to me, like, that game could be a huge hit. It could be something I take out all the time, you know, when I'm waiting for something or out at the bar, and it's just, but I do agree with you, it's not there now.
Discount Salmon is the only one of these games which I don't have any concerns about. Right, I can make some suggestions, but if they looked at me and said, "Haha, Selinker, that's great. We're going to print our game," I would go,
"That's fine. Give me my copy."
That's right. Here's $9.95.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, which is not a trivial point in itself. Right, here's $9.95 is a kind of awesome thing to be able to say for a game like that.
So, kind of straw poll, just starting with Shari and going down the table. Do you guys have a front runner in your mind?
So, Amberton's ready to print tomorrow. Discount Salmon has a couple little things that need to be fixed, but like you said, that's ready to print tomorrow. Penny Press isn't ready to print tomorrow because the graphics will have to be done, although they could be done pretty quickly. That's my analysis.
Rodney, what would be your pick right now?
It's tough for me as well. There are several games on there that I would buy right now. But if I'm going to put my name on one as a game designer, I'm probably actually picking Amberton Affair.
My choice is Discount Salmon. I just think that of all of them, they just kind of hit it out of the park. It's fun, it's fast, it's ready to go.
I'm going to go with Penny Press. I have significant concerns about the worker mechanic in that game, and I want it to be solved, or at least I would need to be proven that I'm not way off base, that there's some real problems, and I would love to get my hands into it. But it blew my mind. And if I don't ratify the thing that blows my mind, I don't know what I'm doing here.
For me, I'm kind of being torn in two directions. For a party game or a simple game, discount Salmon. And you know, if that's what we want to see out of this, it's an easy choice. On the other hand, you know, looking at the games that got most of the judges to the point where they're judging this contest, it's something that is a strategy game. It's something that took, you know, years of development, and it's a lot more mechanically complicated. And to be honest, that's what I like to play myself, and that's what hits my game table more often. And
just to be clear, I did do Guillotine, so I kind of.
I said most, yeah, yeah.
Just to be clear, I did Gettysburg.
Yeah, exactly.
We make Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. But that's why I'm being split here. But if I had to go with one of the games that feels a little more weighty, I'm with Mike, and I have to say Penny Press is the one that has kind of captured my imagination.
I've had pretty much exactly the same opinion. If we want to go a casual route, it's discount Salmon. If we want to go a more involved gamer route, it's Penny Press.
I think it was mean of you to elevate Fart Party.
Me?
Yeah, like their game just wasn't ready. It's not in the same league as this other stuff. Like, you know, maybe he'll get something positive out of this. Hopefully, he met other designers. He'll, you know, give him feedback. But like that I mean, I wanted that game to be good, Max. I really did, and it, you know, it just wasn't. It's just not in the same league. I think Shadow over Westminster is a hodgepodge. I think the design is an absolute mess, and I think I suspect that the mechanics will just, you know, fall apart too. Discount Salmon leaves me cold. And while like what the flock really calls to my like weird, you know, toy nerd want to play with it, like being a layout guy and you know, plus game designer, like Penny Press just kills me. Like I want to give them the shot in the arm to fix those last few problems, like get them over those last few hurdles and see where they go with it.
From a retail perspective, I have some concerns over Penny Press. It is a drier game, so it's not, you know, discount Salmon and Fart Party, they leap off the shelf very easily to a group that is getting bigger and bigger in games. I think the kind of casual gamers. But with the shine and polish, I do agree that it could be a really excellent game, and a game that, you know, people are going to talk about on Board Game Geek about how you have to add it to your library.
For me, it's between discount Salmon, Penny Press, casual versus intensive gameplay experience, and of those two, the one that makes me the most excited is Penny Press.
All right, are we cut?
I can, yeah. What do you need to...
Well, I just want to have kind of a meta conversation of what we want to do next,
Right.
But I also have a proposal. Hey, so we've got some news about the deathmatch. We wanted to talk to you.
All right.
So I wanted to let you guys know that the judges talked about your game. We had a lot of deliberation. It was an incredibly difficult choice, and we were really impressed by all of the games. But yours came out on top, and we picked it as the winner.
Holy crap! Are you serious?
Yeah, we absolutely loved it, and we felt like it was totally ready to go.
Oh my god!
We were totally like, well, what are we gonna do for our Kickstarter?
Yeah, so we're so excited to work with you guys to put it into print and bring it to Gen Con next year. All the cards guys got together afterwards and we played it, and we were just like couldn't stop laughing. We were having tons of fun, so we were super happy with it.
Oh wow!
And also we really felt like you guys were the right people to make the game, and we really believe in you guys, and we want to see you guys get a game out into the wild.
Wow.
How are you guys feeling?
I'm pretty shocked. I'm pretty thrilled. I don't
My heart won't stop pounding.
We'll see you guys at Gen Con next year.
Alright.
Alright, so thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Really looking forward to working with you guys, and we'll talk more soon. So I just wanted to follow up with you on some deathmatch stuff. The judges talked about your game, and there was a lot of deliberation, a lot of back and forth, a lot of debate, and we decided that it was one of our favorite games that we saw, and we chose it as a winner, in addition to Discount Salmon.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding us?
Yeah. We were just everyone was just blown away by the mechanical ingenuity of it. We loved the puzzle element, and we just really want to see you guys get to make this game. So we're we're super excited. Yeah, we can't wait to play it.
Oh my gosh! Do not know what to say. Wow!
Good, what great news!
How are you guys feeling?
I'm a little surprised. I mean, I guess I thought you guys were looking for kind of a smaller game. We were surprised that we were included, and thought maybe we were a little too much of a Euro game for you, but we were so happy to come and meet everyone and show off our stuff, and boy, this is fantastic news. We're so delighted.
I think we all felt like Penny Press was just such a special idea, and we were really honored that you guys submitted it to the contest and that we got to see it.
We're so flattered. And
we were actually it came down to Penny Press and Discount Salmon as the two final ones that we were talking about, and we couldn't decide, so we just had to publish both of them. So there'll be two winners of the first death match. So I guess not much of a death match after all.